Hello. I wasn't expecting you. I'm glad you stopped by. I actually want to talk to you about something serious today. Professionalism in the workplace. Professionalism in the workplace can make a big difference in how your coworkers respond to you, how customers respond to you, and how your supervisors and subordinates can also respond to you and interact with you. I once wrote a paper written by a friend of mine, Dawn Rosenberg McKay. She actually wrote this paper to help give her coworkers a better idea on how they could better interact with other customers coming in their store. So she wrote this up, and I think it really does apply to our situation here, and I'm going to go ahead and share that with you now. This is by, like I said, Dawn Rosenberg McKay. She wrote this back in November 2016. She titled it Professionalism in the Workplace: How to Conduct Yourself on the Job. I hope that you'll get as much out of this as I did. Professionalism is defined as an individual's conduct at work. In spite of the word's root, this quality is not restricted to occupations we describe as professions. Typically, those that require a lot of education and have high earnings. Cashiers, maintenance workers, and waitresses, who do not usually make a lot of money and don't need college degrees, can demonstrate a high level of this trait. Just like doctors, lawyers, or engineers can display a low level of it, and vice versa. As with good health, the absence of professionalism is usually more noticeable than its presence. Who will detect whether you have this quality or not? Your boss, customers, and coworkers will. And it can affect your ability to keep your job and advance your career. So what can you do to make sure you exhibit professionalism, or at least not show a lack of it? Follow these do's and don'ts. Make being on time a priority. Showing up late for work or meetings gives the impression that you don't care about your job. So make sure you pay attention to the clock. Not only does this go for start times, but this tip also applies for returning from your lunch break. Don't be a grump. Leave your bad mood at the door when you come to work. We all have days when we aren't feeling our best. Remember not to take it out on your boss, your coworkers, and especially not your customers. If work is the thing that is causing you to be grumpy, it may be time to think about quitting your job. If that isn't a good option for you, make the best of the situation until it is. The next thing I'd like to talk about is dressing appropriately. Your workplace attire may or may not include wearing a suit and tie. Whether you have to dress up for work or you can wear more casual clothes, your appearance should always be neat and clean. A wrinkled suit looks no better than a ripped pair of jeans. Watch your mouth. Swearing, cursing, or cussing, whatever you call it, has no place at work, particularly if those who you might offend are present. If you wouldn't say it to your grandmother, refrain from saying it at work. Offer to help your colleagues. A true professional is willing to help his or her co-workers when they are overburdened. He or she isn't afraid to share knowledge, opinions, or simply an extra pair of hands. One person's success reflects well on everyone in his or her workplace. Don't gossip. Well, you may be tempted to tell your cubicle neighbors what you heard Susie or Sam down in accounting gossiping makes you look like a middle school student. If you know something that you simply must share, tell someone who has nothing to do with your workplace, like your sister, mother, or best friend. Next, I think that it's important that you try to stay positive. Negativity at work brings everyone down. Your boss certainly will not appreciate the drop in morale among his or her employees. Instead, if you think something can be improved, find a way to make that happen. Don't hide from your mistakes. As hard as it may be to do, take ownership of your mistakes and do your best to correct them. Make sure you don't make the same mistake twice. Never blame others, but set an example so that those who share responsibility for the mistake can step forward and admit it. Always fight fair. You will inevitably have disagreements with your coworkers, or even your boss. You may think that something should be done one way, while someone else will believe another way is better. Don't let yourself get angry. No matter how upset you are, or how strongly you think you are right, loud, nor is name-calling, or door slamming. It should go without saying, also, that you should always avoid physical attacks. No matter what. Calmly explain your opinion and be ready to walk away if you cannot sway the other person or if he or she begins to lose control. Don't lie. Dishonesty never makes anyone look good, whether it's lying on one's resume or calling in sick when you aren't. A true professional is always upfront. If you aren't qualified for the job, either don't apply for it or send in your application despite this and explain why you'd be perfect for the job, regardless of the one skill or attribute you are lacking. As far as lying about being sick, if you need a day off, just take a personal day or a vacation day. Don't air your dirty laundry. While confiding in a close friend at work is usually okay, sharing too much information with the office is not. Be judicious about whom you talk to, particularly when it comes to discussing problems you are having with your spouse or other family members. If you decide to share personal information with your coworkers, don't do it where customers and clients can overhear you. So that summarizes the class for today. It wasn't really a class, I suppose, sort of informal. I'm glad you had time to swing by, and like I said, I hope that you pick up as much from this reading as I did when I first heard it. Hopefully this can make an impact on yours and others' days in the following months, years, and hopefully decades to come. Have a great day. I enjoyed talking to you.